Hello and welcome to a Star Citizen podcast. I'm your host, BoredGamer. I'm joined by the lovely Zinnia. Say hello, lovely Zinnia.
Hello, lovely Zinnia.
Oh, back to the old days. We're all retro now, going back to how we used to be with the hilarious Sin jokes. Or we do them all the time. We do them all the time, but that's the standard one. I want to talk about some stuff today with Star Citizen, about Turbulent, about the tech preview, big ship update, medical gameplay updates, the ship Showdown stuff. We sort of missed out last week actually about CIG's apology, although we'll talk all about this at least to some extent today. How you doing, Zin?
I'm all right, mate.
Perfect. That's good to hear.
How are you?
I'm good, mate. You were missed over the weekend. We had a little birthday party for Zin's best mate. Zin didn't turn up. Too busy.
I had a wedding to go to.
Well, not yours though, was it?
Which was like organised months in advance on like Kit's thing, so...
I'm not saying you should feel guilty. You should feel whatever you feel in your heart. Anyway, let's move on to start this podcast. I'm joking. I love you, Zin. You're the best. And you'll be here soon anyway, when your car's working. Right, let's talk about what's going on with the wonderful world of Star Citizen. Turbulent, Zin.
Yes.
There was a little French article from La Presse, and it talked about Turbulent changing their name. They are now Cloud Imperium Games Montreal.
All right.
Rather than Turbulent. Although they're still doing all the Turbulent-y things they were doing previously, like they're still maintaining websites and stuff that they previously built. But they are a CIG studio now, like not just officially, but also in name. And there was some little statements that Chris Roberts and Benoit Beauséjour made. They sort of reiterated that Squadron 42 will be released in 2026. Chris said it's Top Gun meets Star Wars. So, what do you think of that sort of that statement?
I mean,
if somebody watched.
Well, no, I've seen both of those things. However, if somebody was to say to me, "Oh, hey, there's this game. We think you might like it because it's like Top Gun meets Star Wars," I'd be like, "Yeah, no, I'll pass, thanks."
Oh, yeah, you're not.
Not a fan of Star Wars. Not a fan of Top Gun.
Stargate meets Star Trek.
Yeah.
That's Zin's cup of tea. Okay, yeah, fair point. I'm not a massive Star Wars fan. I mean, I like the universe of Star Wars and I appreciate it as a film. I am more of a Star Trek and Stargate fan. Less complicated star opera. I think that's what it is. There's too much going on in Star Wars for me to be able to understand or enjoy as much as others. But I wonder how many people are angry that I don't like Star Wars as much as I like Star Trek in the comments. Tell us how angry you are. Also, they said in this that the release date for Star Citizen 1.0 would sit around 2027, 2028. That's the release date.
Oh, estimated.
Yeah.
Not confirmed.
Well, so from what I understand of this translation, basically it's Chris Roberts saying couple of years after Squadron 42's release, that's when we're targeting 1.0 for.
Yeah.
Do you think that's reasonable?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know where they are with things, so...
Yeah, well, I don't think they know where they are with things sometimes. That lines up with what I was expecting, though. For 1.0. It is a limited feature set, and some of those features seem really big, but I don't think they are as unobtainable by the end of 2028 as some people seem to think. Like with base building, I do think that we can get there. Tech preview. So
yeah,
this is a cool little build they put out over the weekend. It wasn't engineering. It's not the engineering tech preview. I know, but it might be coming soon. This is obviously the one they wanted to do before. This was an Evocati tech preview, so very limited testing, and they had some massive Vulkan updates. Vulkan by default is sort of like, this is the version they're putting out before they're entirely phasing out DirectX 11 stuff, I would expect. So this, and then give it a little time, and then entirely phase out DirectX 11. There was a load of new graphics options, like you'd have in a traditional game. There's support for the latest NVIDIA DLSS stuff and DLAEA, I think's the other one. The idea is to get Vulkan working much better in certain situations and focus on that. There was also a load of AI and NPC updates, improving a load of stuff. At least that was the plan. Unfortunately, the build was very, very, very unstable, and that's one of the reasons it was in Evocati. They'll try and fix some of these bugs, put it out for another test, and then it will go out to more people, would be my expectation. So are you excited for this stuff, which is effectively Squadron 42 updates that they're phasing into Star Citizen?
I mean, more stuff is more good.
Yeah, so does the more standardization of graphics options and getting the game in order for what you would expect for Squadron 42, is that something you're like, yeah, cool? Or is it like you've got used to the fact that there's no traditional graphics options in Star Citizen now? And I'm just sort of curious where your head is with that.
I mean, I'm kind of used to the graphics options in Star Citizen.
They're very limited.
I wouldn't say they were... I've had less options in some games.
Yeah, that's true.
They've got the standard basic ones that everyone has, so...
Yeah, I suppose what I'm sort of excited for is the optimization and focus on Vulcan and Star Citizen hopefully getting even more sort of scalable and optimal to or resource efficient for a wider range of PCs, because I want people to be able to play this, play Squadron, play Star Citizen at between 1080p and 4K and have a great experience. Obviously having to make concessions with certain things based on their setup, but I don't want it to be like the days of old where you were getting less than 20 frames in Star Citizen, that sort of stuff, just as the norm, because we've been there. It's not a good look. So hopefully that'll go out to more people soon. And as I said, it's Squadron 42 updates basically coming in. Something we had quite a big update on was a ship update they did from the Star Citizen Live Ship Showdown special, which wasn't really anything to do with the ship showdown, but more just a big ship update. A big highlight there was that they went, the Apollo, that's coming out next month. Is the Apollo a medical ship that you want, Sin, or are you more into different medical ships?
I think I wanted an Apollo.
You did. I remember you saying it originally.
But I think I kind of liked the idea of the drones, and obviously it's not having the drones to begin with.
So, yeah, at least not to begin with. It has the space for them. They might add them later, is what I can understand. Because medical gameplay has changed and has the concept of it has also changed. And they went, oh, well, the drones aren't necessary to it anymore, and we'll be releasing more information come next month on 4.3.1. There's medical gameplay is going to be evolving and changing a bit. They did say, however, anyone that had already bought an Apollo or buys an Apollo will get 6 modules for it. It's basically 3 modules, 2 of each. And it's the tier 1, 2 and 3 medical facilities, 1 on each side. You can set that out modularly. So this is going to be absolutely fantastic. Very high tier medical ship. Almost as high tier, I suppose, as the Hope Hospital. The Hope Hospital, the Endeavour variant. It focuses more on like ships being able to land with it. This has got more ships like docking with it. It's a little different, and it's a lot smaller, the Apollo, obviously.
I was thinking something that they could do.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know how easy it would be for them. While they don't have drones, is maybe you could like somebody falls over, sends out a medical beacon, you go take your Apollo, park it nearby, you go in, find them, and you can essentially just sort of like click on them and then go transport to ship, and they just teleport.
Tag them with you can now respawn on my Apollo.
And that would be like, it's like the drones picked them up and took them away, but obviously there are no drones, so...
I mean, you could even have it that all you need to do is scan them from a distance, and it's got their medical profile, and then they can respawn there.
I don't know how easy that would be to do, or if they even want to do it, but that's an idea.
Well, we know new medical gameplay is coming in the future. There's obviously the Death of the Spaceman stuff. There's the regen crisis things that are going on at the moment. And we saw in a sneak peek as well that there was some sort of charging station, which appears to be a medical charging station. So originally I looked at that and went, oh, that's some sort of battery charger, right? Because it says recharge status. However, there's a person next to it that appears to be wearing medical gauntlets, gloves.
And a gown.
And also... if you see the little text there, that's Brentworth. That is the New Babbage medical facility?
Yeah, Brentworth's New Babbage.
Cool, yeah, thank you. It's for sanity check. So these are, I think, some form of medical battery or medical goo or medical charging. So maybe not a battery per se, but maybe it's medical goo, and maybe that is a resource for your medbeds.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll still be able to spawn in tier 3s when they've got the new medical gameplay in a little bit later on, but maybe it's a lot more inefficient. Maybe it costs more medical goo. Maybe there's not enough space for too many of the medical goo pouches. Maybe you don't have like a recharge station on your ship. there's a load of stuff that they could do. What do you think about that as a concept? Do you think that this could be some sort of medical crew charging station that's required for medbeds?
Possibly. I couldn't tell you what it might be for otherwise.
Yeah.
Like, I have no better idea.
Well, I mean, it could just be I suppose.
Because they're not the canisters for the med gun.
No, they're too big.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that a med bed would need resources, right, for healing, for respawning, and that makes it a lot more interesting as a mechanic in game, and also that you can't zerg out of somewhere.
Yeah.
And I like the idea that maybe we can even make the Onyx facilities allow you to respawn people if they've got enough medical gear. If you brought some with you, boop, plug it in. That's
a good idea, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of cool stuff you could do like that then goes, well, actually, this is a gameplay loop. This isn't zerging. Interested to know what other people think about that. Tell us in the comments below. But we are expecting either updated info about medical gameplay with the Apollo or potentially more medical gameplay coming with 4.3.1, just new stuff. Other bits and bobs they mentioned in that ship update, bespoke weapon options. There's like more of them coming for certain bespoke weaponed ships at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, I think. What do you think of that? Previously entirely bespoke ships where they go, this is the only weapon option. Well, actually, you can have options.
Yeah, again, more stuff, more good.
Yeah.
Having options is great. Obviously, you're still restricted.
Yes, they are restricted or limited in their options, bespoke weapons, but there's still some interesting ones and some good stuff there. I think they're doing it with some PDCs as well. They also mentioned there's potentially a new PDC ship or vehicle coming with the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, or at least soon. Oh, so this was interesting gameplay they mentioned that might be for 4.3.1 or at least soon. Some ships will be able to use their hangars to rearm, repair, and refuel ships that are docked with them.
Good.
Yeah. It's not going to be all ships, but it sounds like the Idris is one, for example. And that sounds like that gameplay is for 4.3.1. And there is an update for the roadmap for 4.3.1 tomorrow, or Wednesday, that I think might shed some more light. Do you like the idea of actual motherships and this sort of ship being able to do that now? Or do you think that's too soon, or it should have been done ages ago?
I mean, I kind of feel like it should have been done ages ago.
Yeah. I do think there might be an event tied to this as well, and it might all be connected to medical and rescue gameplay. We'll sort of have to wait and see. More reasons to use big ships and more ways to use your smaller ships, but literally deploy them out of a mothership. I think it's great. Battlecruiser. So,
yes,
I've got some concerns about this. CIG have basically gone, we don't really want to sell any more concept ships, so new concept ships. We're moving into the sort of straight to flyable model. They've been trying to do that for a few years now, and it's been more and more going towards that. And they've gone, well, actually, the last concept sale planned we have, and that's probably going to be next year, is the Battlecruiser. So Battlecruiser is smaller than a battleship, I believe. Not that there's any battleships I can think of in Star Citizen. So it's significantly bigger than a Javelin, a Battlecruiser. Significantly bigger than a destroyer, typically. With that in mind, I'm expecting them, because they basically said it was the last concept sale they were going to do. Well, at least that's what I inferred from it. That means they're going to sell it for real money, right?
I would have thought so, yeah.
I would have thought so too. The Javelin is like $2,700 to $3,000, something around that at the moment. So how much are they going to sell a Battlecruiser for? Is this going to be like a 5k ship? And are they just doing that because they know a few people will buy it, but also it will get massive headlines for ages in the press? What do you think? Isn't that just going to be bad press for them that they're selling something like that for real money?
I don't know. I mean, it'll be limited, I would assume.
Yeah, by the people that can afford 5k for a ship.
Yeah. I don't feel like the people who can afford 5k for a ship are going to be flying around annoying people just for the fun of it.
Oh, so is that your... That's interesting. So did you assume that people are going to be flying and annoying people with the Battlecruiser?
No, but why else would you have a problem with people buying it?
I suppose it's because it's such a large purchase. I know people can do what they want with their money, but from a consumer point of view, is it immediately then pay to win? How hard is it?
But are they going to be using it going around annoying people? Is it a pay to win ship?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we don't know about, because you will be able to build these and buy them in game. Same as the Bengal, same as... We'll be able to do that with the Retribution, maybe in the future. Retribution class Super Dreadnoughts. Because I believe the Retribution is the name of that Super Dreadnought, and there's only one. But yeah, it's an interesting one, right? Like, some people are going to be like, yeah, do what you want with your own money, or, oh yeah, it's silly. They might as well sell it because they're also going to be in-game. It's not pay to win because you can get them in-game, or obviously it's pay to win because it'll take you a year to grind to get them in-game. So yeah, I'm just sort of interested on people's thoughts on that. I like the fact that it might be the last concept sale and other ships in the future will be straight to flyable. But yeah, just interested to know what people think. Zin!
Yes.
Ship Showdown.
Yes.
The Elite 8 have been picked. Now,
basically, yes.
Yeah, thank you. The Elite 7.5 have been picked. But we've got the Elite 8, and I'll say versus because this is who they're fighting in the next bracket. The Asgard versus the Urza Medivac, the Razor versus the Gladiator, the Zeus Mark II ES versus the Vulture, the Prowler Utility versus the Polaris. Zin and I were saying that we wanted or at least expected the Raft to beat the Asgard in the first round. Mm-hmm. I sort of wanted it to as well. I do like the Asgard, don't get me wrong. I think the Raft is so useful. And the update that they made it, making it sort of like an upside down flatbed truck, it was just superb and made the game so much easier. And you can double click on the cargo that's above it and it all drops down on a single spin. It's so useful. There's some cool stuff going on with that ship. Who do you think's going to win there, Zin?
Polaris.
I think the Polaris is probably my favourite there. I'd say Polaris as well. We'll see what happens. Free fly with those 8 ships starting later today, or by the time you see this, most likely. Also, something that's happening is 24 waves of Idrises are going to be sold.
Oh, wow.
So you say that.
How many Idris per wave?
We've never known. Well, that's not true. Sometimes, occasionally they have shown us. I'm just seeing what time those waves start. Bear with me 1 second. So they start at 4 p.m. UTC. So today, 26th of August, 4 p.m. UTC, and then every 4 hours there's a new wave. The first 12 waves are priority access waves. Most people will have received an email if they are in that priority access wave. CIT have said, for the most part, that that's going to be people that were the most active in game and on the issue counts and stuff like that. I think they actually said most active players and testers over various criteria. I'm not sure if that will also include concierge or subscribers. Tell me if it does in the comments below. What do you think about that, Sin? That there's a undetermined amount of Idrises per wave, and 12 waves have priority access to most active players and testers?
Yeah, why not? I don't have a problem with that. I'm not going to be buying an Idris, so...
Yeah. What do you think is an appropriate amount of Idrises to sell per wave? What's your expectation? I'll tell you, I've got anywhere between 20 to 200 per wave in my head.
See, I wouldn't say like 100. I'd be like 10 to 50.
Okay. So you're thinking sort of like between 120 and 1,200?
Yes. That sounds about right.
So I think there might be up to 4,800 sold. People are like, no, that's a huge amount. I'd say they'll easily sell that, and they'll easily sell out within seconds still.
Yeah. So I'm sort of thinking about saturation over the entire player base.
Yes, CIG, why don't you tell us how many Idrises you're selling? Why would you hide that information? Why wouldn't you say how many are being sold per wave rather than just a limited amount? Is it because you can pretend they sell out instantly if they're not selling out as quick as you want? You can have artificial scarcity. You could sell one in the first 6 waves, and then people are like, must get an Idris. So that is a genuine worry I have. I am not saying that CIG are doing that. But if you don't reveal the amount you're selling, people could think that. And yeah, it's a concern. I suppose they could quite easily just go, yeah, it's 20 a wave, and still lie about it if they wanted to and sell 100 a wave. But I prefer more information rather than less. I'm interested to know what other people think. If they go, yeah, like Sin, don't mind, people can spend their money as they want. I don't think people are going to be trolling with Idrises. Zin.
Yeah.
What do you think of CIG's apology from Inside Star Citizen a couple of weeks ago? We didn't talk about this because I forgot to talk about it in the...
Honestly, I just sort of skipped through it.
Okay. No, that's fair. It was Alpha 4.2.1. We kind of dropped the ball with freight elevators. Obviously, There was a lot of focus on them in outposts where they were broken or not working as intended, and there was a load of compounded issues that happened. We weren't prepared. It's something we'll do better in the future. Now, with apologies like this, because I love the fact that CIG apologised about it, identified that there was an issue and said, look, we're aware, we dropped the ball, basically. Do you think CIG learnt anything in a tangible way that will make stuff break less in the future and not be so reliant on broken mechanics in a patch that goes, bam, event, look at this cool new thing, oh, you can't do it? Or do you think it's just an apology and they'll apologise when stuff breaks, it's an alpha, it's going to happen, the only thing they can do is apologise? Kind
of the second one. I'm going to assume that they've learnt stuff just from gathering information. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure they've learnt any lessons.
Okay, yeah. It is an alpha, okay? And sometimes they are just going to have to go, no one's done this before, or in the way that we're doing, or we've got a new event with a new mechanic. Oh, no, it's broken because of this. We didn't see that. And we did test it. We didn't test it in these circumstances. Ooh. It is one of the problems, I think, with monthly patches as well. It pushes the game forward, but sometimes stuff's going to break. Maybe they learned a little bit. Maybe there'll be a bit more testing in different ways. And sometimes maybe just an apology is all they can do when stuff breaks. Hopefully stuff will break less because of lessons learned. It's hard to tell, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's always nice getting an apology, but I do kind of think that although they have come a long way, people need to realise, and maybe they do, that stuff is going to go wrong. Stuff is going to break, and CIG doesn't always see it coming.
Welcome to the real world, buddy.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. I mean, it's just disheartening. I think with the freight elevators and the resource drive event, it just felt like, how did you not know that this stuff was broken? Hopefully, in the future, at the very least, there'll be a bit more sanity checking before an event goes out. As I said, we're moving towards Star Citizen 1.0. Maybe they want to release it by the end of 2028. Although 3 years is quite a way away. A lot could happen. Any other quick news? Onyx Facilities, we've been having fun playing them. We're going to be doing some more this week. Oh, that was the other thing. I was expecting there to be less patches this year, but from what I can tell, and what CIG have said, they consider April not having a patch because it was just like bug fixes and stuff they put out. Mm. And there probably will be a patch every month this year for the rest of the year, including October, including November. Like, that surprised me that appears to be their plan.
Well, I know they said they were aiming for 10.
Yeah, they were aiming for 10. So from what I understand, there's probably around 11 patches planned, is what I've got in this, and CIG saying in a response to that, there was no release in April beyond the deployment of critical hotfixes. 4.1 was released at the end of March, and 4.1.1 in mid-May. So it looks like they're going to put one out each month. That's not a confirmation. But is there a month that you think's less likely for them to put one out, like in October because of CitizenCon? Or do you think that's more likely because of CitizenCon?
Maybe more likely. I mean, I would say they're probably more likely to miss September, but it seems like they're working towards that. So.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a weird one.
Maybe November to give them a bit of a chance to like recoup, or maybe December so they don't have to worry about doing anything over the new year.
So with the November patch, for example, what they could say is the November patch is the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. Mm. So it would be no new features, it would just be the expo.
Yeah.
I think that's a possibility as well, although they might want to tie a little event with it, or some new missions or something. But we'll have to wait and see. Tell us what you think in the comments below. I think we have come to the end of the podcast, Sin.
Oh.
Well, exciting, right? Do you know what's more exciting?
Is it NordVPN?
Oh, it is, Sin. NordVPN.com/BoredGamer. Maybe you should go to the links down below. Click that link to NordVPN. Get yourself a big discount. What can they get with NordVPN, Sin?
Accessibility, security, and privacy on the internet.
More of that on the internet.
Lots and lots.
I love the fact that I use NordVPN because it makes me feel protected in an otherwise dark, bleak, and depressing world. I'm going. Say goodbye, Sin.
Goodbye, Sin.
Love you. Bye. See you later, everyone. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and we're giving away an RSI Meteor, that new medium fighter with lifetime insurance and a gameplay package for Star Citizen. Everything you need to play with a cool fighter and pew-pew some fools. just comment on any of our videos made during this month to be in for a chance of winning that. Something else that you might like to do is like, share, subscribe to our videos. There's a join button underneath as well. There's Patreon. You give us a little bit of money each month and it helps out the channel immensely. Occasionally we have some exclusive videos. Come to my Discord, discord.gg/BoredGamer. Also, you should comment on all the videos, not just because of the giveaway, but also because you can give me feedback. And I want to say a massive thank you to the people that have supported the channel via any medium, but genuinely, you guys that go the extra mile to use that join button or Patreon, it is genuinely so appreciated. Thank you so much.